So you need a website. You start looking around, getting quotes, and wait a minute. One person says a few $100s, and the next quote is for tens of thousands. What is going on? If you've ever felt that confusion, you're not alone. The big question is, what's the real number? Well, let's figure that out.
This is the question, isn't it? It seems totally random. How can the price gap be that huge? But here's the thing. There's actually a clear logic behind it. The difference between that $500 site and the $50,000 one isn't just about a nicer font or prettier pictures, it's about the results it's built to deliver for your business.
All right, to get you from totally confused to feeling confident, we're going to follow a simple roadmap. First, we'll tackle the pricing puzzle. Then we'll look at what actually drives the cost. We'll reframe this whole thing as an expense versus an investment, uncover those sneaky hidden costs, and finally help you figure out how to choose the right budget for you.
Okay, let's dive into part 1, the pricing puzzle. You know, the main reason there's no single price is that a website isn't just one thing. It's not like buying a coffee mug off a shelf. It's a custom tool, and like any tool, its price is tied directly to the job you need it to do.
Think of it this way. It's like buying a house. You could ask, how much for a house? Well, are we talking about a small starter home or a custom-built mansion with a pool? They're both houses, but they serve totally different needs and have wildly different price tags. It's exactly the same with websites. A simple online brochure is a completely different beast than a complex e-commerce store that has to manage inventory and take payments securely.
And you know what? Performance has a real, tangible cost to your business. See this number? 40%. That's how many people will just give up and leave your website if it takes more than 3 seconds to load. Just 3 seconds. Trying to save a few bucks by skimping on the basics could literally be costing you almost half of your potential customers.
So if the function is what dictates the cost, what are those functions really? In this next section, we're going to break down the 5 core things that are actually behind that final price tag. These right here are the big 5. First up, strategy. What's the actual goal of this website? Second, design. Are we using a simple template or are we creating something totally unique? Third, the size. Is this a 5-page site or a 50-page site? Fourth, functionality. Do you need any special features like a booking system? And finally, performance. Is it built to show up on Google and load lightning fast? Each one of these adds another layer of expertise, time, and yes, cost.
Now lean in for this one because it's so important. Strategy and discovery. This is the single most critical step, and it's the one that almost always gets skipped on those super cheap website projects. This is the blueprint. It's where you figure out who your customer is and what you need them to do on the site. If you skip this, you're basically just building a pretty car with no engine inside. It looks nice, but it's not going anywhere.
And that brings us to the real heart of this whole thing, shifting your mindset. Are you just buying an expense to check a box? Or are you making an investment that's going to pay you back? Let's break down what your money actually buys you. This slide just lays it all out perfectly. On the left, you have the expense website. It's basically a digital flyer. It's there, it exists, but it's passive and it's built from a template. But on the right, you have the investment website. This is an active business asset. It's custom built with a real strategy to bring in visitors and is designed to grow right alongside your business. One is a cost you sink, the other is a growth engine you build.
So how do you actually get a site built? Well, you've really got 3 main paths. You can go the DIY route. It's cheap up front, but you get zero strategy and you'll outgrow it fast. A freelancer can be a fantastic middle ground, perfect for a startup that has simple, clear needs. And then for businesses that are really serious about growth, an agency brings that deep strategy and scalability you need to turn a website into a true money-making investment.
Okay, let's talk about something most people totally forget to budget for. The price you pay to build the site, well, that's not the final price. A website is a living, breathing thing, and it has ongoing needs. We have to look beyond the build and uncover those hidden costs.
This chart says it all, doesn't it? That initial build cost is often just one piece of the pie. Look at how maintenance, hosting, and all those other fees make up a huge chunk of the total annual cost. Forgetting to budget for these is such a common and honestly a really costly mistake. So what exactly are these recurring costs? Well, you've got your domain name. That's your address on the internet. Then there's hosting. Think of that as the rent you pay for the land your website lives on. Then you have maintenance, which is absolutely critical for security and software updates. And finally, you might have renewal fees for premium plugins that give your site its special powers. It definitely all adds up. All right, we've covered a lot. So now that we're armed with all this info, let's get really practical. In this last section, we're going to flip the question. We're going to stop asking how much does a website cost and start asking the much, much smarter question, what is my website for? This right here is the single most important question you can possibly ask. Seriously, what is the goal? Are you just trying to look legitimate when someone Googles your name? Are you trying to get a steady stream of leads for your sales team? Or are you trying to sell products directly from the site? Your answer to that question changes absolutely everything about your budget. So here's a simple little framework to help you set your budget. First, define that goal. Is it credibility, leads, or sales? Second, think about lifespan. A cheap site might look dated and need a rebuild in a year or two, while a professional build can last 5 years or more. Third, prioritize your features. What's a must-have versus a nice-to-have? And finally, don't forget opportunity cost. How much money are you losing from leads you miss because your site is broken or confusing? And this is the great irony of it all, isn't it? Trying to save money at the start by going with the absolute cheapest option almost always ends up costing you way more down the road. You pay for it in rebuilds, you pay for it in customers who don't trust your outdated site, and you pay for it in all the missed opportunities. The cheapest option is very rarely the best value. And that quote just says it all. The difference isn't the price tag, it's the outcome. Are you just buying a short-term expense that's going to need to be replaced? Or are you investing in a long-term asset that's actually designed to grow your business? Once you answer that question for yourself, you'll know exactly what you need to budget.